what excites you about the opportunity to give your cinematic work to another artist? In the case of this film, Do Not Feed the Pigeons by composer Gail Gallagher, and having them interpret a whole other feeling for the short film.
Oh, uh, I love the sound of silent film. Just because we do get paired with other composers, and I've never listened to it before. I never asked to listen to it before we see it in the theater. So
Excellent.
it's just a beautiful surprise, and I just think it's cool to see somebody else play with your art and hopefully have fun with it. So I don't know. I think it's magical for me. Hopefully it's enjoyable for them, and hopefully the audience enjoys it. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Well, since you're a veteran of the Sound of Silent Film Festival,
Mhm.
do you find that the composers are able to get close to the intent in the particular film, or is it the opposite? And which is more astounding to you?
Um, no, I always think, the composers always get it. They always kind of get what I'm going for, but it's definitely a different thing than I had in mind. I have different sensibilities. They have different sensibilities, and so
Sure.
it's just a nice to look at the film through a different, audio lens, I guess, So yeah, I don't know. It's always exciting. This is like one of my favorite events, like
Nice.
in film, like basically anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
been
I
all
mean,
over the world.
yeah, yeah. And it's like the music box, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
There's no way you can beat it.
Yeah.
The Chicago crowd is always going to be great,
Yeah.
and the surprise of the live element of the interpretation is always for all the films, not just my film.
Right.
It's always very exciting. So
That's
yeah, I love
amazing.
it, love it.
Amazing. Your short film is described as an orgiastic mutant monster postmodern pop art pigeon fueled horror apocalypse. Which Jane Austen novel did you base this on? No. Ser- Seriously, what was the inspiration for such a descriptive film?
Oh, the truth of the matter is I've been doing like a lot of very serious work.
Mhm.
And I the burden of serious work I feel is it's heavy. Um, because a lot of times you're working with other people, you're telling other people's stories, that sort of thing. And also it's nice to hear an audience kind of laugh and enjoy things. So basically I've been like lately due to life things and just my personal enjoyment of things, I've been trying to do more wacky zany wild films that can maybe make an audience laugh or react in strange ways. And I think that's really it's fun for me to make for the most part, and it's extra fun in the theater.
Yeah.
So I kind of been going that direction for more of my projects at this point as I get older. So
Well,
yeah.
also, were you just looking at pigeons one day and said, let me put some words together in front of that description and
Oh no, I mean there's pigeons everywhere in Chicago, and they're beautiful birds. They're like super beautiful birds. And I just love the way they walk. I love the way they move, and quite honestly, I was inspired.
you know,
There's like a Chicago CTA store here, and they've
uh,
got that, they've got the shirt that says "Do not feed the pigeons," and they've got these big monsters. And I always thought it was just a fun take. Why are these signs all over the place? And I was just walking through an alley one day next to where I live. I saw the sign. There was a flock of pigeons there, and I'm like, I want to have fun, kind of make a weird monster movie out of it.
nice, nice.
And experiment with different techniques to do that.
You
So yeah.
never know when that apple's going to hit you on the head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, as an academic in film, you have to keep going back to cinema history for your students so they can understand how to apply their spin on what has come before them. What does the modern student like about this discovery, and what era of filmmaking is falling out of favor with the current generation, and why?
So that's a big question.
Yeah, it is.
Basically, what I've found is, there are a lot of students who are all in for everything. They'll explore on their own. Um, you know, but then there's a lot of students who are, basically raised on the phone,
Hmm.
and so they like shorter media content. They like the clips, they like the TikToks, they like all that fun stuff. And so in the classroom, it feels like you're kind of catering to different students with
Right,
different tastes, and it seems like it's more extreme than ever. And in that way, as an educator, you got to try and find the commonality.
right.
So because there's it's all visuals and audio, creating this illusion
Sure,
or
sure.
something we can relate to. So you just gotta, talk about the techniques, how they're used, and they're used, the same way here as they are over there. And
Right.
besides all that, it's really fun to see the new generation who've been raised on technology big time, and using technology in all new different ways that are just, quite frankly, like my mind is like, man, you're so creative, you're so talented. Like you blow me out of the water when I was your age.
Right,
But simultaneously, I think, what if I was raised on technology? What would I have done then?
right.
So I'm just so impressed by and excited by like a new generation of filmmakers who will take kind of the same tried and true techniques that affect us as humans in an audience, and kind of applying them in new different ways to kind of make exciting visionary
Yeah,
product. So
that's
it-
great.
it-
And
yeah.
since you do see, what's happening in the short form, obviously with TikTok and all that other stuff,
Mhm.
what impresses you about that type of filmmaking? Instead of the horizontal, we've got the
Vertical.
vertical, and instead
Yeah.
of storytelling, we have, you know, 30 seconds
Yes.
to say something. So,
Yeah. Geez. I feel like a lot of the good stuff, the good content on like TikTok and Instagram, all the reels and stuff.
mhm,
I feel like, these, really, really creative people come up with a character. And so it is about, or a persona. It is about those like, 15, 30, 15, 20 seconds, whatever. But also then it also becomes episodic in terms of seeing what this character's up to next and the zaniness they're getting into. But then, you also just see like weird little just strangeness created through, AI and live action
yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever, 3D modeling, just all sorts of amazing art that just pops up on your phone
right,
that is, you would never see anywhere else at any other time period. So I don't
exactly.
know. There's just so much creativity out there. It's almost nauseating. Um, and I personally I've found myself getting, pulled in deeper, and I'm trying to kind of take a step back from,
Sure.
the social media and get my attention span back. I definitely can see that, my attention span has eroded based upon,
Yeah.
the social media and, experience. And I see that in my students too. So I totally empathize with what they're going through. But I do see a lot of students pushing back though. So it's really great to see like the young generation are so smart and so educated because of and also they can be misled. You
Yeah.
can't you
Well,
can't, can't deny that. But there's a lot of very, just smart people, who are going to start to hopefully push the world in better directions.
awesome.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
through
Fingers
through
crossed,
art,
right?
and then through obviously, community.
Finally, what's the first thing you think about when you think about your love of creation and filmmaking? And why do you think that thought occurs?
Oh, basically the only thing I think about is like, what am I going to do next, and what am I doing now, and how can I make it the best it can be? Just because I kind of have frankly, kind of a junkie mentality when it comes to art. You got to get get that fix, and I feel crazy if I don't make stuff. So I don't know. I've just been doing it for so long. I just feel like it's something I need to, keep me alive in many respects.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2026.